Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to go ahead and start Chapter 6, our very last chapter of the school year. So today we're working on correlation and line of best fit of scatter plots. And so when we talk about correlation, you're looking for the association or the relationship between a group of numbers. So there are 7 different types that we can come up with. So our very first is perfect positive correlation. And you want to go ahead and take a look at your scatter plots and kind of form a line through most of the points with the same number above and below. And that's called the line of best fit, or LSRL. So this first one has a perfect positive correlation. It forms a perfect line. The second one is a high positive correlation, about a 0.9. So as you can see, it's not a straight line. There's some above and some below. The higher number, the better the relationship and the better the correlation. A low positive correlation, if you were to draw a line through the points, notice that the points are getting further and further apart. But if you squint, you can kind of still see that it's going to be a positive correlation, but it's not as tight as a grouping here in a 0.5 as it was with 1. Now, no correlation means that there's no relationship. You can't really see a line being able to form between these points. It's kind of all over the place. There's no relationship between the values of your X and your Y. Next, we have a low negative correlation. I want you to see that now we're working in the other direction. It's like a negative slope if you were to draw that line. So this is a low negative correlation. There's some kind of relationship, but not a real tight one. Next, we have a high negative correlation with a negative 0.9. And as you can see, it's being grouped closer and closer together. And finally, the perfect negative correlation of -1, as you can see, that forms a straight line. So once again, these are in a range, the correlation between 1 and -1. 1 is perfect positive, 0 is no correlation, there's no relationship between your X and your Y, and -1 is a perfect negative correlation. So as we're going through this, we also have the line of best fit. So line of best fit is when you have a table of values such as this, and you want to go ahead and create one of those correlation lines so that you can use that to plug in a value of X to go ahead and make a prediction about your data. So our question is, how many houses are sold in 2005, which is the 7th year, based on this information we see on the graph? So your very first step is you're going to plot all the points in Desmos, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But this is basically what it looks like when you go ahead and you have those points plotted in there in a table. Next, you're going to type in Desmos in the next line, y1 tilde mx1 plus b. And this is going to give you information where it's going to tell you what your m, which is your slope, is equal to, and b, what your y-intercept is equal to. And then you're going to write down your m and your b and rewrite it in the equation. And so for this one, after we put that information in Desmos, we have the equation of your line of best fit, or LSRL, is y is equal to -21.6x plus 217.3. So now we're ready to answer our question. How many houses were sold potentially in 2005? So we're going to plug in the year number, which is the 7th year, in for X for our prediction. So we do that, we go ahead and plug it in and solve, and we can see that in 2005, which was the 7th year, there's probably about 24.34 houses sold. So we use this correlation to make a prediction of what's going to happen in the future, and we don't know all of the data. So I wanted to show you real fast of how to find this in Desmos. So here we went ahead and we went insert table and plugged in those values that we got into our table. Then you just go to your next line, and you have to memorize this point. You have to know what to plug in. So it's y1, and then tilde is like an equal sign with a little curve, and it's shift above the tab key. And then it's mx1 plus b. And the reason we do x1 and y1 is, as you can see, they're the top of this table. Now, this is the information right here. The m is giving us the slope, and the b is giving us the y-intercept. And that's what allows us to go ahead and look at this equation right here and predict on this line how many it would be at 7. And so that is how we use the line of best fit and correlation to make predictions in statistics. The magic word of the day today is pencil. It corresponds with our lines that we'll be working with today for your line of best fit. You guys have a Desmos activity today and a Khan Academy to finish up with 70% or better. Thank you guys so much and have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you Monday morning. Bye.